Hello, just wanted to give you a quick demonstration of this Yamaha QY8 music sequencer that I recently procured. It was made in 1994, originally £225 I believe in the UK. This one's in really good nick. I got it from the second-hand shop the other week, and it's got the plastic still on the display, no scratches or anything. It's in really good condition. It's a music sequencer. Over 20 years old. The reason I was attracted to it is it's got the capability of sequencing MIDI out, as well as the inboard sounds. So you've got a MIDI in and a MIDI out jack there, you've got a headphone jack there with a volume control, you've got a power supply and an on-off there, and it also takes batteries, AA batteries, 6 of them, so good for on the road. So let's have a quick listen to what it sounds like. So let's power it on. There you have a look. So it comes up with a display, QY8, Yamaha. Nice little animation. Battery error, I think the battery's a bit low on here. Seems to work there perfectly well, despite that. So let's start off by taking song 16, clear the song. Song 18, sorry, clear the song, and then have a listen to what it sounds like. So let's turn the volume down a bit. So that's song 18. Hasn't got a name at the moment. Just turn it down a little bit. And there's measures there, so each of these bars is a measure, and there's a tempo, so I can change the tempo if I want to, using these this plus and minus. So that's very good. If I move over to the style section, I can change the style of the accompaniment. So at the moment it's disco, I can change it to Euro, I can change it to house, dance. There's a whole range of different songs I've got, song styles that I can choose from here. As you can hear, each accompaniment has got its own instruments and drum patterns, and then there are different sections. So that's section A, and I can move to section B, and there's even a fill from A to B, and a fill from B to A, and an end. There's all sorts of different things they've programmed in there very nicely. But my favourite style accompaniment is this one called, no, not New Age, this one called Blank. That's the one I'm going to choose, because I'm far more interested in the sequencing in the MIDI notes here. I've got part 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I can sequence in those sections. So part 1 is set as a piano, and I can change whatever instrument I want that to be, but it's currently set to a piano. So I can program in the notes using all the buttons here and the stave on the screen, but it's much easier, I think, to use a MIDI keyboard. So here's a MIDI cable that this is normal MIDI cable. I can plug that in to the MIDI in on there, and I can plug the other end of that cable into this MIDI keyboard I've got here. Switch it on, and you can hear. Turn the volume up a bit. I can do whatever notes I want for the MIDI, and I can change to different instruments, so vibes. Whatever. Let's go back to piano. If I want to record some notes in, then I just need to let's set myself a tempo, something a bit more leisurely than 136. That's quite a fast tempo. Bring that down a bit, and then so if I want to record something, then I can just press that up arrow and enter, and it will offer me quantization mode. So it's quant off at the moment. I could change that to whatever I want it to be. let's go for that one. That'll give me 8 notes in the bar, or 8. They're half notes, aren't they, effectively? Great. So then I just have to press the play button and it will start recording. Give me a count in of 2 bars. So let's have a go at that then. So that was recording from 60 onwards. That's a bit silly, isn't it? Why don't I record from 60 onwards? Well, that's fine. Doesn't matter, does it? I can start at 60. If I'm clever, I will remember how to remove the bits and bobs. I don't want to clear song. Delete measure, enter. So if I delete measure from 1 to 59, press enter. So that's done that. So if I hit play, now what was 60 before is now 1. So I've got measure 1 to 8, I think. There's a few bum notes there, but I could re-record that or I could fix it, but just for the purposes of this demo I'll leave it as it is. I need to put some repeat marks in there, so let's go to the measure 1. Let's go back to measure 1 and put in a repeat mark. So I need the starting repeat mark there, press enter, that pops it in the beginning of measure 1. If I now go to measure 8 and select the counterpart, the end measure, the end repeat mark, and it's going to repeat twice. Let's make that a bit more, say 12, press enter, and that puts a repeat mark at the end of bar 8. So that should now play. Yes, so there you go. It played bar 8 and then it went back to the beginning of bar 1. So that's fine, that's working. I don't particularly like that piano sound, I think I mentioned that before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Volca keys instead. So let's turn off the keyboard, don't need that anymore. Take the lead out of there. Let's put the MIDI lead into the output of the Yamaha and feed that into the input of the Volca keys. So now hopefully my MIDI notes will be played in here instead, and I'll be listening to them via the mixer, via this headphone jack instead. So let's power on the Volca keys. There. Let's maybe go for a triangular. Just reset some of the normal things. Step trigger off. Right, let's have a listen. So if I press play on here, hopefully. So there we are, now we have an 8-bar sequence being played on the Volca keys without using a computer, using this sort of thing instead. So let's just stop that. Tempo is 111. I suppose I could change that. Oh, I know, let's show you the tempo. So let's say I wanted to have some other instruments going. I could plug my my Korg Volca keys use the sync out cable and plug that into the sync in on the Korg Volca Beats, for example. On the Volca Beats, just tuck that cable around there. Again, let's just clear whatever's in there. Let's start off with 4 on the floor, closed hats, so I can start off with the simple, quite a simple little beat. Now the tempo of the beat is now unaffected by the tempo knob, because the tempo is overridden by what's coming through that cable, which is coming from here, which is coming from here. So if I change the tempo on the Yamaha, you can hear it changes the tempo up on the Volca Beats. So that is being my master clock for the rest of the devices, and I can keep chaining obviously the next Volca and the Monotribe, anything compatible I can chain from that same clock. So if I just start at the beginning of the song and press then there we have it. We have our sequence going from MIDI on Volca keys, playing in conjunction with Volca, which is using its own sequencer. Of course, I use my Korg Volca sample, which has got long sequences running on the Korg Volca sample. Alternatively, I could use which are on different MIDI channels. If I had the right MIDI cable, I could plug in Volcas and do the sequencing still from the Yamaha. So there's lots of different